You guys don't need my help, but all this space up here is wasted. Now, most people usually run a dot scope, including me, and when you run a dot scope, you can run your hand over it and rack the slide like you would the top ratcheting nut of an Uzi. So you can just run your hand over there, and you don't even need any of this right here. So raising these up using that bolt to run through the plastic and possibly even connecting to the trigger guard, and that way your rails will be higher and none of the grip will be affected. The downside of this would be that it raises the place where you'd put your cheek if you were cheeking it a little higher. So that's solved by just running a little bit higher of a dot scope. If you're running an SRO, it doesn't matter. And if you're running maybe a weaver on the top here, you can get that height. So that's a fair trade. That can be solved. Moving this for a layperson, regular person can't solve this. They can solve raising the dot. That's solvable, even if it reciprocates with the slide. You still keep this piece here. You're just basically using all this area, this negative area here that you're not using for nothing but slide, just so you can grab it, and raising these up to where it doesn't interfere with the ejection port. It frees up this critical area here to grab. As far as the size of the gun, you gain grip. So now you can run a 19 and have the same grip as a 17. And in theory, you could probably put this on a 26 and still get by with a 26, although I don't know why you do that. Now, if you ran if you actually extended this and put it on the trigger, the dust cover here mounted, you would delete some flashlight laser capability. But if you're carrying inside the waistband, which I do, you probably won't be carrying a lighter laser here either. So you can run the trigger guard, the Kydex trigger guard that has a little string that ties to your belt that removes when you draw it. I currently don't use that because I do use a light and laser, but switching to that would be a little safer, I guess. I haven't shot myself yet. But anyway, you might delete that light laser position, but you can still use a guide rod laser if you just had to, although reaching the on-off switch would probably be kind of difficult. That's usually the on-off switch of a laser there. But again, not your bottleneck. When you come out with a carbine with a dot scope, you don't even need a laser. So I said carbine, I mean a braced pistol. But whatever cons this brings, it gives back to the shootability of a handgun, which is the primary goal for it, at least for something you carry. And by shifting your hand up, you can go to a 19, which increases concealability, even though you may lose it on the top by having a larger dot.